welcome to the 7 a.m. talk. Um, it's choosing your fate is not one decision. Nothing is set in stone until your mind encapsulates itself in the thoughts that make the stone seem settled. What I've noticed is that there's this kind of behavior that is being normalized for this or that reason, but this behavior I want to identify as uh, a sort of neglect for your inner wealth, your inner self, the contents of what you think about. Because a lot of the people allow these bad thoughts and these habits of, you know, inheritance of, from your parents or your environments or your culture, or your friends. They let these sort of things project onto their lives, and they themselves become, will become the how do I say it? They become their worst fear in a way. And I think a lot of people's worst fear is not being understood or being alone. And the way our minds work is when you're always worrying about those types of things or thinking about those things, about being alone, about, you know, the fear inside you. When when it's existing inside you and you allow it to be there and to almost be serious and you allow it to take a serious sort of notion, you become fearful. You become the fear. But, there's I think Hunter S. Thompson said something like this or something along the lines. He was like, fear is something you should always have in front of you, like something that should, you know, that you might have to kill. And I've been trying to approach the way I view fear, in my own life. And I'm like, I'm fearful of this. Maybe I'm a little lazy at times and I don't want to do certain things, but when I'm fearful, the only way out is through. And what I've noticed for the average, generalized person, the window into their fear is a window into themselves and their deepest parts. And I think, our language is so minimal in expressing ourselves, and our culture and, what has been normalized is so minimal in truly expressing this part of ourselves, this part of nature that is beyond language, that is beyond form, that sort of, holds the fabric of our existence between all life and what I would call the unnatural state, if you will. And the unnatural state is all around us. It's it's a combative sort of war between the natural state and the unnatural state. And I'm not going to put that into a box because I think that could probably be argued, but the unnatural state, in my opinion, is the state of being when you're trying to look for the right answer or you're trying to be right all the time. And the natural state is this free flowing, chaotic thing that exists always. And the unnatural state sort of combats itself against the natural state and making sense of things when some things you just can't put a lid on. Excuse me.